is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded November 4th, 2014, episode 223, Wanzing, Workshop, Whemmle.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
That was said with assertion.
Yes. The only
authority.
The only authority around contextual electronics these days.
Right. How's all that going? You're too busy
it's on hold right now.
Working for your supply frame overlords.
Yeah, it's I'm focusing on getting the site out, but that's just about launch. So we'll be launching officially at Electronica. So
this is Parts.io.
Parts.io, right? Yep.
Right.
So
that's a big thing for them, is it?
For us, yes.
Yeah, right.
I'm part of the
you're
machine
one of
now.
the team,
yes,
right?
yeah,
You're part of the machine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be at the Hackaday's having that the party for announcing the Hackaday Prize, the winner to space. And
that's right. That's in Germany too.
Yeah, that's on Thursday in Germany. So if people are going to Electronica, I highly recommend. I'll put a link up for getting tickets. It's free tickets, and
As in this Thursday?
No, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. So this is I leave Saturday and I get there Sunday to go just to fly to Germany. I've never flown to Europe before, so this is all new to me. It's But yeah, so we'll be there Thursday night, and there's a party and beer and food and talking about nerdy crap. So
right, and German, doing the German dancing and all the. Sorry, I'm pitching. In the
like
are they Lederhosens or whatever?
I was thinking and now's the time on Dieter when we dance. That's good. Dieter's dreams.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yes. Yeah. Or in National Lampoon's European Vacation, I was doing the slapping, is that in Germany? Was that
it's
in
Germany
Munich or somewhere? Munich, right?
Oh wait, you saying the movie or the actual show?
No, the segment from the movie.
Oh, I don't. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, same here.
Did you hear the reboot in that series though?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah, the guy that's in The Office, the U.S. version of The Office, and he was in I don't
watch it.
Oh, he was in The Hangover and a bunch of other movies, but yeah, they're rebooting it apparently. We'll see how that goes.
Wow. Okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad when it came out, so
right.
But in a good sort of compelling watching sort of way.
Campy. It's campy.
Yeah, campy.
Yeah. Yeah, like campy humor. It's stupid.
That's a Yankee term, obviously.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And you're taking my advice and going on holiday while you're over there.
I am, yeah. So I'll be gone the whole second week, going over to Austria as well. So I'll be. You're
finally coming to Australia. Excellent.
Not Australia. That's got to flip it around here, Dave.
When are you going to convince Supply Frame that Australia is an important part of their business and you've got to come here?
I don't know.
Holiday.
Maybe if they're listening, they'll think of that. But I don't think. How much electronics is really down there, Dave? I know that we have a lot of great listeners there, but I feel like our listenership it encompasses all of the electronics of Australia, and it's not that many.
Well, I got about 12% of my audience are Australian.
Oh, okay, so that's not bad. Yeah,
there you go. We've got a show here, which kind of has a few hundred people turn up, and
yeah, you might have the Woz living there soon, right? That was in the news. But he might be teaching a course there or something as well.
Yes,
I think
that's
he's moving
right,
there, right
here in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's been talking about it, but then there's talk that he's going to teach it via satellite or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yes, he has accepted a job at a local university here, and yep.
I feel like if you're that level of fame, it's like you don't really live anywhere anyways. You live mostly on airplanes. So
right, yeah, probably.
Plus, he's probably afraid to live there because he knows you'll stalk him and like.
Well, all the reasons that he wanted to move here are now gone with the Abbott government. You know, he praised our national broadband network, and it's basically gone. Mm-hmm. And you know, everything else about Australia that he liked is basically gone.
Yeah.
And
that is a shame.
Goodness.
Oh well. So yeah, if people want to meet up, I did get 1 or 2 emails already, but if I'll be around, I'll probably be tweeting at the show, and I'll be around Austria, so.
Well, you'd want to be at least tweeting. They're sending you all the way over there. I thought I mean, cover the show and blog the crap out of it.
No, I just meant like how to find me. That's the main thing. Okay. So, yeah. Yep. So yeah, that'll be fun. Excellent. I'm excited. I don't know what else to say other than actually, I do know what to say. Well, I guess we mentioned this last time too. There's a ton of money already like swirling around that, and I've kind of been watching the hashtag on Twitter and just it's so big. So we'll see.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully, I have things to say other than that, but afterwards.
You could tweet, I'm in hall number 5 or something, right? Yeah. And then people still will not be able to find you.
Right. Yeah, it's like...
You know, like...
It's like an airplane hangar.
Yeah. Actually, you could probably say, I'm at this booth for the next hour, and they wouldn't be able to get there from somewhere else in the show within an hour. That's how big this thing is.
What is the biggest show you've been to?
What, engineering show?
I guess any show. I mean,
well, it would probably be the Seabit one that I did here in Sydney. I mean, that's, you know, but that's small by world standards. I mean, it's big by Australian standards. Yeah. But, yeah, no, tiny, you know.
I don't really know. I think the biggest, like, people event I've been to is probably like a maker fair or something like that. I mean, I've been to, like, music festivals and stuff, but it doesn't seem like this is as many people as it's just, you know, floor space. So it's floor space and booze. I don't know how many people attend over there. How many days does it go for? It's 4 days. It's like it's like 3.5 days. It ends like half day on Friday.
Yeah.
But they said I read somewhere it's like 70,000 people, which didn't seem like as many as it could be.
Well, that's not as many as a maker fair, for example.
Right.
One of the big maker fairs. So, you know, actually, it gets to a point. I mean, how many exhibitors are there? Have you actually checked?
I have not looked yet. No, there's like this really old school looking site where they have all the listings.
Right, yeah. Because it gets to a point where the show is too big, it's actually pointless being there. Yeah. Apart from the fact that you can say you've been there and it's a junket for the company, so everyone loves going, right? Yep, and companies go, oh yeah, I have to spend our marketing money on, you know, going to Electronica. Of course we do, you know. Yeah. And yet nobody visits you. 10 people visit your booth over the 4 days because it's so bloody big. You just, you know. I mean, at the smaller shows where you're still here in Sydney, right, you walk around and you visit every booth. Right. You can't do that at these shows. Well, and so you've got to only say that 10% of those crowd are going to walk by your booth. Not even that. You're probably lucky if you get that many walk by. Right.
Well, and so my buddy who's been there once before, he was telling me he hangs out in the displays building because that's kind of like the industry he works in. And
right. Oh, okay, so they do separate them into market segments.
Yeah, they do, but then...
I was going to say that, yeah, they need to do that.
But then how much... I mean, I guess you could go around there and stuff like that, but then why not just have separate conferences for each, I guess, is at a certain point.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. It gets too big that you may as well have separate conferences.
Yeah.
Where you can, you know, stand out and get your core audience, you know, there. Yeah. So it's worth your while to pay to go to this thing, as far as a stand goes. You know.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's pissing money down the drain.
I was having conversations with some other people about it too, and it's just like how over time, conferences specifically, also like trade shows like this where it's more, you know, there are some educational aspects, but less so.
There are conferences attached to these trade shows usually.
Yeah. But like how even those are kind of starting to become less relevant just because it used to be that was like the only way, you know, you had to go there and see people talk and because you needed to get the experts in a room and actually hear them speaking. Whereas now it's like, you know, there's YouTube, there's you know, webinars, there's many, many more ways to distribute this kind of information. And
there are, but are they using it? Most people aren't.
I don't know.
Yeah,
even beyond that,
there's hacks like us using it, but no, like not the world expert in lead physics or something.
Yeah.
Like is not going to have a YouTube channel, right?
Well, they should, but no. I mean, I think this is more about like that. Even just the information is available online. Like before, it was like the seminar was the only place to get the booklet about it, and now it's like, well, a lot of this stuff is distributed, and a lot of this stuff is basically you can find the information online at least. Yeah. Whereas before, maybe that wasn't the case. So I don't know. It's I'd be interested to hear if people are still going to lots of conferences, and it'd be good to have if there's one where it's like the AMP hour will be there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've rarely gone to conferences because I just find them boring. Yeah. I just you got to sit through. Oh, okay, I might. Yeah, that one was okay, and then you got to sit through 5 crap ones to get one good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of learned my lesson. I drink lots of coffee to start with, and when I'm chugging coffee at one of those things, and I still can't keep my eyelids open, it's like
right, yeah.
It's either the material's not right, or I just shouldn't be in that kind of situation in the first place. Yep. That's just not useful for me. But then we most
presenters don't know how to condense material down. Says the expert of Waffle Me, but no. But if I need to, if I prepare, I can get the information down, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
And a lot of them just don't know how to do that. Don't know how to deliver it efficiently.
Yeah.
So, yep, that can lead to a lot of droopy eyelids.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm sure we're doing to people, so we don't need to talk about conferences anymore. So yeah.
Anyway, enjoy Germany.
I will, and I just got an email back. We do have at least one guest for Dave lined up. I didn't actually mention it to him before the show, but
yeah, exactly. Okay.
I'll let him know before the show, and hopefully we'll find another guest host. I'm sure Dave can find somebody for the following week.
Probably. Yep.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just do it myself and talk to myself.
Oh man, the getting Dave's head episode. That was my original
concept. Yeah? That was my original concept before the EEV blog. The EEV blog was my second idea. The first one was this radio show, and it wasn't. It was like a podcast. I wanted to do an electronics podcast, and I had my pro studio mic and everything, and I sort of went, well, who's going to want to listen to me waffle on? And I didn't think it would work, so I canned the idea.
And then you got out the webcam.
And then I got out the 320 by 200 webcam.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was an article about podcasting and just like how it's kind of coming into prominence now, back into prominence after 10 years now, how it's just kind of, and it's just all these different factors kind of leading together, like a lot of cars have like Bluetooth or a lot of
with the phone integration, the smartphone integration, all that sort of stuff. It's getting easier to listen to the podcast, and everyone's on like a high bandwidth plan, and
right.
as in mobile plan and all that sort of stuff.
Right, and smartphones themselves too. But it used to be you had to load it onto an iPod and then listen to it. Now it's just like now mine just goes out and grabs podcasts overnight. So it's pretty good. And speaking of podcasts, we should mention the passing of a Titan. There was sad news.
One of your favorite podcasts.
Yeah, one of my heroes, Car Talk. Tom Maglioli, I think it is Maglioli. But yeah, Tom passed away yesterday. It was announced. So highly recommend if people have never gone to listen to Car Talk. Someone brought it up on Twitter the other day, and they're like, Car Talk wasn't actually about cars. It was actually a show about troubleshooting. And
just like the amp hour is not really about electronics.
Right, because you're not actually seeing anything,
It's can't,
Although they always had the benefit, they actually have they have a best of because they've done like 30 years of it. And so they had the best of people making, like replicating the car noises that their car was making. And I was thinking, like, how would we do that for electronics? Like, just describe your scope trace to me. It's like a squiggle, and then like a flat line, and like a squiggle.
Doesn't quite work.
Right. Yeah. So
the closest we've got to that is a compilation of me saying, United States of America.
we do have that. We also have that creepy thing where it's just us laughing?
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh no, it's super creepy. Yeah, someone took our one of our shows. I think when Jeff was on, one of the shows when Jeff was on, and he cut out everything except the laughing, and so just one thing after another. And it's
brilliant.
It's so frightening. It's So
with my horrible laugh,
yeah. Well, no, it was just like we just sound like we're insane. That's it. It like it devolves into madness. But
you should see the scope trace of my laughter. It's extremely repetitive.
Is it really?
It's incredible. I think you could, use it as a clock reference. You can, like that. Well, on the recording thing, every time I go to edit, I edit using the waveform.
Oh,
right?
I see.
So and you can see the laughter packets. You can see the packets of laughter. And it's, because I've got this like motorboat like laugh. And
deterministic symbol, huh?
Yeah.
Signal.
Oh, goodness.
Now I'm all self-conscious about laughing. This is terrible.
Yep, me too. But yeah, you got to give it up. If you got self-consciousness in this industry, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about Car Talk too, was like you start listening, it's just you can't help but laugh along with those guys. They got the heavy Boston accents and
right.
Oh, it's awesome. So
they actually retired a couple of years ago, didn't they? They stopped doing the show.
Yeah, they did. I think we might have mentioned that when it was off the air 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but they
possibly.
still play reruns, and you can get all the old shows, and so they still play all that stuff, and highly, highly recommend it. It is a troubleshooting show. It's awesome.
Are people going to be playing our show after we retire, or we're dead?
I don't know. It does make you think about that, but we got a long, long way to go. I mean, they were doing like 30 years, Dave. It was like...
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. We've done, 4.5? Maybe?
4. Yeah, a little bit more than 4. So we got...
When is our 5th anniversary?
Oh, not till August.
August next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should actually meet up for the 5th anniversary.
Maybe. At some point. It'll happen.
Right. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, good stuff.
All right. Can we actually get onto our list of crap this week?
Sure. What's...
Oh, bloody hell, U-Beam's back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got 10 million. I've done a blog expose of this U-Beam rubbish, wireless transmitting of charging your phone. They just got $10 million in another round of investment funding. And are people this stupid, really? Anyway, there's a good post we'll link in about how is his name Danny?
I believe so. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Anyway, he's got a blog on Tumblr or something. Anyway, he's a physicist and he researches ultrasonics, and he has and he goes through the calculations, looked at their patent, went through the calculations, and went, it's just bullshit. It's just, like I can do this on the back of an envelope. It's just bullshit. It's not going to work. It's not practical. To deliver the amount of power you need, like 5-watt charging power, it's just stupid. And any engineer knows this, right? Yep. Any engineer with any intuition at all knows it's just not practical. And well,
I think we mentioned in the show before, what it ultimately came down to is like, yes. Is it completely impossible? No, you can do it.
No,
but
of course you can. It's technically possible.
Hurt animals, right? You're going to be so wildly inefficient that
it's just stupid. Yeah.
Ultimately,
and the technology is so complex. The beam steering and the whole
is a $2 USB cable, and it's like that's what you're really going after.
Not only a $2 USB cable, but a $20 wireless charging mat.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that too. That's right.
You have to beat those two technologies, and it's just not going to work. And people piss their money away in this. I reckon there's got to be a niche business for a niche startup business, for offering practical advice to these batshit crazy investors.
No.
Right? Because they obviously have no clue. No,
there is no business
They
in that.
don't want to hear it, right?
And that's the real story here is that... buckle in, folks, because it's only going to get worse. I mean, like this is whatever it is, right? I think a lot of this is personality, and they're investing in the person, and that's fine. But it's only going to get worse. Like it's already like really
of course.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like they're throwing stupid money after stupid money these days. So just ignore it and try the best you can. And if you are a company, try and, tell a similarly nice PR marketing story so that people will throw their $10 million at you.
Because it's a great gig if you can get it. If you can, play with somebody else's money for a couple of years, just developing some impractical thing, then hey, why not?
Yeah, and that's great.
My hat's almost off to them.
Yeah.
As much as they, and they're not, they're not. I hate to use the word because they're not deliberate scammers, right? They actually believe in this shit, and that's their problem, right? That's their problem, and also the reason that they get the money. Right, is because they're so convincing that they can make, they can make other people believe in their bullshit.
Yeah, so I hear more about this stuff now. Granted, my main reference point for this whole thing is Silicon Valley, the HBO show, which is amazing.
Right. I watched the first. Episode.
You gotta watch. So there's 8 episodes.
Good.
No, it is.
Right, it's not that good.
It is so good. Oh my god. It's by Mike Judge, the guy that does Beavis and Butthead and Office Space and a bunch of other stuff. And I loved it. The first episode is a little slow, but it really, really gets good.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because we both sat down and watched the first episode, and we just went, nah, that just didn't work.
By the end, it's amazing. But so that's my main reference point. But I mean, like the thing is, the thing that you see, like the thing that I keep hearing over and over again is just like, yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close. And it's really stupid. It's like all of it is really stupid right now. So, like I said, buckle in, folks, because it's going to get worse. We're going to keep seeing stupid stories like this, and it's just it is what it is. It's okay. They threw money after that. That's fine, and especially in hardware, that's the thing that's going to get really rough because you see this stuff already, right? They'll throw 10 million, 20 million at like another photo sharing app. It's like, okay, who cares, right? But when it starts to be hardware, it's like, whoa, wait a second, we can actually...
Well, because that's the stuff we care about, and we can vet it. We can,
Exactly, right.
We can tell if it's practical right off the bat, almost.
Right, yeah, with a software thing, like, and they talk about this too, it's like, until you actually start earning money, like, your potential profit is infinity. Right, and that's
right,
and it's just as much as the imagination can dream up, and it's like until you actually have something there with hardware, I feel like it's like, okay, well, we can look at the component costs, we can look at the labor costs and do some estimates, and then look at the actual physics because there's physics involved.
Exactly, there's physics involved.
And
that's right.
That's going to be So it's it is what it is.
Speaking of physics,
let's do some good physics.
Why did those two guys win? Was it two guys? I think won the Nobel Prize for developing the blue lead. Yet the guy who actually developed the lead didn't win.
I think it was three. It was three scientists.
Oh, three. Okay, sorry. And anyway, there's an article in the IEEE Spectrum about the guy Tom Roberts. No, sorry, that was the guy who took the photo of the guy. Oops. But again, Nick Holonyak Jr. He developed widely credited as developing the first visible light LED, and yet he gets jack all. Yet the guys who developed the blue LED, get the physics prize, which to me doesn't make sense because it's the. And the guy who developed the LED's probably got a point because I actually developed the technology that made the LED possible, yet they just developed a refinement of that allowed the consumer application of white light, right? As in, the white LED lights that we take for granted these days, because the development of the blue LED was essential to develop the white light, of course,
because it's actually a blue, and people will remember from John Edmund of Cree being on the show. We've had some star power in the past.
That's right.
Actually, I don't know enough of the history of the original.
Me neither.
LED stuff.
But still, I think it's a bit rough.
Well,
now they come to think. I thought, I went, awesome. The guys that developed the blue LED, they won the Nobel Prize in Physics. Woo! And then, this article comes out. What about the poor guy who developed the LED? That's pretty major. That's pretty major, the lead.
Okay, so here's what I know about LEDs.
The laser, right? They gave the Nobel Prize in Physics for the invention of the transistor. They gave it for the invention of the laser, didn't they? I think.
Don't know.
Okay, I'll have to double check that, but yeah, okay, for the laser. And the lead has got to be the next,
Okay, so I'm going to go into... Buckle in again, folks, because I'm going to start talking physics I don't know much about. The way I remember LEDs is basically it emits a photon when it jumps a band gap. Does that sound right? I don't...
Yeah, something like that. Yes, by the way, I just checked. Yes, somebody won a Nobel Prize for the laser.
For the laser. Okay, so...
Yep.
But, I mean, there's always... I don't think I'm even going to try here. I mean, maybe the LED stuff is just that was more incremental. I know the stuff with the blue LED was a totally new material type because of the need to go on to the was it gallium arsenide or gallium nitride? Basically.
Yeah, but how much research was there already in LEDs before they cracked the blue lead? I mean, there was an awful amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you would have to know the incremental nature of it, I guess.
Yeah, we don't, obviously.
Yep.
We can focus on the positive here, which is that the blue LED inventors won the Nobel. That's awesome. I mean, that's great, right? I mean, it is going to have very wide-ranging effect.
Brings up the topic. Have there been how many physics Nobel Prizes have been to do with electronics? And I should know this because I've actually read a book. Well, granted, it was 20 years ago. I read a book of that detailed every Nobel Prize winning physics invention.
Huh.
And yeah, but I read that 20 years ago. Almost to the, yes, it was exactly 20 years ago. 2004 I read that.
Huh. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry. 2000. Sorry, 1994.
94. Wow.
94 I read that book. Yep. Anyway, if anyone knows, or there's a Wikipedia list, and I'm scrolling through it right now, of physics Nobel Prize inventions: the neutron, cosmic radiation, the positron, the diffraction of electrons by crystals, the cyclotron, the Pauli principle, blah, 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 blah. But how many of them are related to...
I mean, you have to get down towards the bottom, right? Because, I mean,
right, yeah,
transistors were, what, 40s or 50s?
Probably, yeah.
Man, my history is not very good.
47, isn't it, the transistor?
Was it?
Jeez, we should know this. Come on.
I don't know. Does it really matter? I mean, okay, so like you were mentioning them adding on. Obviously, yes, everybody builds on the shoulders of giants, right? But
right.
Everything still has to be taken, of course you have to look at the things that came before it, but when I'm working on electronics today, do I need to care about the history of how I got there? I mean, I have to respect it, but I don't have to...
Yeah, of course.
Memorize it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something that they test you on in school, is it? It's like, when was the transistor invented? It's not something that...
It's not in the history classes.
No.
Yeah,
well, it's not
everybody takes the American history classes, right? Just like, I'm sure you took American history classes, right,
engineering
Dave?
courses I'm talking about. Sorry?
I said you probably took American history classes, right, Dave?
Oh, yeah. Of course. I know all about it.
Yeah, right.
The only thing I know about American history comes from movies, probably.
Yeah, probably. The only thing I know about Australian history is usually used as a joke about Australians, so...
Right. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, I'm looking it up.
No, that's okay.
1947, I was right.
I was
right. Yes.
Well, we should
My
mention...
credibility remains intact.
Whatever low bar we have already.
Right, yeah. Oh, dear. Yep.
So continuing on the physics trend and moving away from the Chris and Dave don't know any history stuff, write your complaints in about history on the Amp Hour to history@embedded.fm. there was a piece of news that was revealed finally after having him on as a guest for 4 or 5 times now. Dr. Greg Charvat.
Really? That many times?
It's been a couple, maybe only 3 or 4, but it's been a couple.
All right. Okay.
We finally found out what Greg has been working on, and it's pretty nifty. So this is another thing.
Speaking about pouring a buttload of money into something.
Right, exactly. So it's going to be ultrasound on a chip, and so tons of high frequency switching, but on a chip, so you could start to do monitoring internal to the body, external to the body, and just really
At this stage, no. At this stage, though, there's no prototype. It's just, not that they're showing. It's just, we got $100 million and we're developing this, and and they've got a patent application, and of course they do, and stuff like that. So
right.
In fact, the only concept drawings they have come from their patent by the looks of it. So
right.
Whether or not it actually comes to fruition, we'll see. Hope it does.
Yeah. Well, and I think when Greg was on the show, he was talking about some of the chip stuff that they were doing, and I remember wondering when I talked to him about what, because his background's radar and stuff like that, so I didn't know what that meant for low level chip stuff, other than you're probably not going to be doing anything low power, anything portable like this on like on an FPGA. So you do have to do custom logic, custom everything on board.
Yep.
So
I don't think his expertise will be on the physics side of the stuff. I'm assuming that they've hired physicists and all that sort of jazz to do that. Although I don't remember Greg's background. I'm sure they're hiring him for the practical implementation aspect of the hardware.
Yeah, well,
and jazz like that.
Yeah, and a lot of the test setup, I think, as well. Like, so people remember that he did the seeing through radar, or the seeing through walls radar type of stuff, and he wrote that book. And that's why you don't know he's been on the show that many times, because usually he comes on when you're not here.
When I'm not here, he's your go-to guy these days.
Yeah, him and Mike are the two.
Right.
So yeah. But he did a lot of that radar stuff at Lincoln Lab, which is at MIT, and now he's doing this stuff. So very cool things.
Cool. Yep. And I guess that they need someone to build a practical thing, because at the moment they've got jack all. But and they got $100 million funding, by the way. The guy who's is a serial entrepreneur, and he's Rothberg. Mm-hmm. His name is Jonathan Rothberg, who's formed a couple of DNA companies and sold them for $500 million and stuff like that. He's just doing another one, and
right. Well, and we hear $100 million, and it's like that sounds like a ton of money, but if you're doing, effectively they're doing chip startup, right?
This is where, but this is where I support this sort of money being spent. Right, is in this sort of research.
Yeah, right.
Not just some bullshit practical wireless charging wank.
Right.
This is
not to mention
where I want to see money spent.
All the regulatory type of stuff that you have to put up with for medical stuff. So there's probably a big chunk of money that needs to go into that, and all the testing and yada.
Just the fundamental physics of this, fantastic, right?
Yeah, right.
This is great. So so even if it turns out to be not that practical, see what happens. That's the thing. Right? What happens when a company like this gets $100 million that any university research department can only, that's their, wet dreams, right? When they get this sort of money, what happens to the research if the thing all fails? Do they release it? Does it just, get lost in the annals of time? All that fantastic research that somebody could then build upon to, what happens when private research ventures like this fail?
Well, I think usually these kind of things are based on, I'm sure they're doing research and a lot of the, the magic around implementing, but do you think they're doing a lot of like new research? I
think they are.
Maybe. There's always these different levels, right? So there's the base level research, right, which would be like discovering ultrasound, and then there's implementing it, right? That would be the initial thing would be like one level, and then there's innovation there, and then there's also minifying it and making it more power efficient and getting better software algorithms and stuff around that. There's innovation there. And then
I don't separate those by too much.
No,
I mean, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure that, like we were saying before, the LED, everything's based upon, you know, prior research, but it's a question of how much new stuff they have to do.
Yeah, but
anyway,
the bottom line is, you know, I mean, what happens if this thing fails? Not that I'm hoping it will. It's just a general question about private funding of any sort of research like this. Like, look, there's no way they need $100 million to, you know, get a prototype working if the technology is so easy. Well, right?
They said in the article that
they've got to be doing advanced fundamental stuff.
Well, they said they already have a prototype in the article.
Oh, okay. Maybe
imaging a penny. Yeah, right.
Right. But I mean, how far advanced is it? Like, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But $100 million is what you need for, you know, getting into silicon, getting that kind of stuff. That's where it's
right.
Big
that's
money there.
Expensive.
Yeah. Yep. So it's I'm sure a lot of that will go towards that. And so like we have examples of this at least in the chip industry as well, right? So we saw Touchstone, which went out of business probably a year ago now, right? They ended up just selling off their portfolio.
Right. So you think that's what happened here, though? Somebody would buy their assets and then...
Yeah. I mean, you try and salvage some of it, especially if you're taking on debt or anything like that. And then, you do what you can. But in terms of what happens to the money, I mean, that money's just gone. It's just like, that's it then, you know? That's...
Right.
Then the investors lose. And then... That stinks. But...
Well, in this case, everyone loses because this is, you know, a really important sort of product. You know, ultrasound. It's basically like it allows like an iPhone-sized ultrasound machine, basically. Mm-hmm. Although ultrasound machines are pretty small these days.
They do keep shrinking them. I saw one from GE that was pretty small.
Yeah, they're, you know. So, how much smaller does it need to be? Are they going for low cost as well as... Anyway, it's a new way of doing ultrasound. It's not just miniaturizing existing transducers and stuff like that. It's, you know, I think it's a totally new method of doing the transducer arrays and stuff like that. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I guess that's his full-time gig now, right?
Yeah. And he said he posted something to the thing about... So November 13th, he's going to be doing a speaker series, and he'll be down there. So if people are in New York City, the people that actually host that startup, 4 Combinator, I think is like their the name of their startup group. But so Greg said,
is this where the money came through?
I don't know,
right.
But so Greg said he'll actually be there though. So if people want to hang out with him, and he's hosting some panel.
Right.
So cool.
Cool and groovy.
Good stuff, Greg. What have you been doing with electronics lately?
Me? Have time to do electronics?
Opening
surely
packages?
You jest. Yeah, surely you jest.
Yeah.
Hey, DNA can carry current. And speaking on the research side of things,
yeah,
I think that's fascinating. Researchers at the University of the Hebrew University Institute of Chemistry and Nanoscience and Nanotech, blah, 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 they've found that DNA can carry current. Yeah. A promising step towards molecular electronics, they say.
Right,
but I think that's just a fascinating insight.
Who needs a chip machine at home when you can just mix together some kind of goo and then it sets up the circuit for you?
There you go. They were measuring tens of picoamps up to 100 picoamps over distances ranging tens of nanometers to more than 100 nanometers. Wow. How do you even probe that crap? I mean... Yeah.
Test structures.
Oh, goodness. You know, that's where the art is. The art is actually taking the measurement. You know, it's just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, those test rigs can be really, really crazy. We used to do stuff like that, not like... on DNA, but, you know, that kind of low current stuff.
Yeah.
It's
not hard to measure those low currents, but you know the fact that you can isolate it to a DNA molecule is just wow.
That's true. Right. You have to like grow it across some kind of structure and then
structure and then embed micro positioners and all that to probe them and
that's crazy.
Incredible. Anyway, I love it. I love the photo in the article, though. He's like, this guy's there with he's got something on the computer, and then behind him is a couple of instruments, and he's got like a little cheap-ass, $300 oscilloscope. And but on top of that, he's got a couple of Keithley 2400 SMUs and something, a couple of SMUs, but that's basically it. That's their entire lab.
Yeah, well,
which is all you need, really.
Well, yeah, and you see that a lot though too. I mean, you see a lot of PhD types getting a lot done with not much like super fancy equipment. Obviously, the Keithley stuff's pretty interesting, but
yep.
Yeah,
no, you don't need. Yeah,
it's just about repeatability.
As I
said,
and it's all in the physical process of separating that DNA molecule and then probing the damn sucker.
Yeah,
you can just picture it. He's there with the right tongue angle. Come on, you bastard! No, I missed it. Oh, he wiggled. Oh. No, that's that's great.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I'm doing some. I did some probing and cutting and a couple other things at home. Last week, I suppose.
Oh, is this the Iron Man thing?
Yeah, it's totally not. So we're going from, big important things like ultrasound and DNA to probably the least important things in the world, like Halloween costumes.
And what's this fluff you got on your face? What's this goatee thing?
Oh. So I went to this weird, it was like a party, but it was like a cocktail party for Halloween. And so you had to, dress up and...
Right.
Yeah, you had to, actually be dressed. You couldn't be wearing, I don't know. So I went as Tony Stark at a cocktail party, right? And so I made a...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I had to try the beard thing, and that was not very great, but...
How long did it take to cultivate that?
Oh, 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know.
2 weeks? Oh, is that all? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I actually got into using my mill again, mostly for the plastic.
Yes.
I found someone had given me some machining plastic, and so that was great because it actually got me back into cutting with that stuff. And I had started with metal when I was doing machining, and
yep.
I posted a couple of videos about how terrible the process was just because I didn't really do enough reading on it. And I got a lot of great feedback from people, but this machining plastic was awesome. It was like a hard,
right?
I don't even know what kind of
give us the actual name for the
maybe.
Material.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it because it was given to me, so I don't know. It's kind of like the stuff used for like when you have people making fixtures for you, for holding down fixtures and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that kind of plastic.
Jigs.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that stuff was great to work with. So
awesome.
Made a little chest piece, but then what I started to do then is I started to try out machining with the I wanted to cut out the circuit board as well, so I actually laid it out in KiCad, and then I found this script that basically in Linux it'll convert a Gerber straight to G code, so the G code's actually what controls the XY movement of the router, and
excellent.
It worked great. I mean, the code is awesome, and it worked really well. So I'll post the code. The big problem was I broke all my drill bits. And
What? You broke your drill bits?
I mean, not my drill bits, my milling bits. Yeah, so I had I had it on I didn't have the right ones on hand, so ended up running out of time and just hacking the whole thing together on a piece of cardboard. So
nice work.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was
bloody Halloween. I hate Halloween.
Yeah, I know. Why do you hate Halloween? I don't get it.
Oh, it's just bullshit commercial American stuff that's infesting Australia, and it pisses me off. Hate it.
But it's fun.
The end. No.
You get to dress up as things.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Can we have a bloody dress-up day where we don't call it Halloween?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that, man.
Yep.
You just don't like that it's like all commercialized and candy based.
It's commercial American, crap. We just don't want that stuff infesting our country. Thank you very much.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Well, how would you like it if we bought some of our customs over there? You know, you'd go, we don't want this Australian bullshit.
Steakhouse, Dave. We have Outback Steakhouse.
Right, yeah, my apologies for the Outback Steakhouse. I have eaten at the Outback Steakhouse in America, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great.
The food's all right. It's just cringeworthy, you know.
I know, it really is.
The Alice Springs burger or something, or I don't know. It's just...
It's very stereotypical.
Yep.
Much like our how we started the show talking about Germany and European vacation and Dieter's dream.
Oh, you want to know what else bugs me? Me?
I think that's what we're here for.
Bloody American accents here in Australia trying to say g'day. You know,
really?
No worries. Like, because like where I live and work here, we have the Hillsong Church, right? And that is infested by you bloody American teenagers, right? All the parents send their kids to here, right, to go to Hillsong Church, and it's they've got a school as
like
well,
a youth program or something,
a youth program school thing, it's bullshit. So everyone who works in the shops around here is a bloody American teenager, and no worry,
Oh man,
I can't do an American no worries, but and they're all, and of course because they're all going to Hillsong Church, they're all religious, so they usually come from the southern states, right? I don't want to generalize, but it's true. Right, so they've got those southern accents.
I love southern accents, man. I think they're great.
I don't mind when you just get served at the local shopping centre here and they say no worries, or and it's just I just want to slap them. I'm sorry, I just can't handle it.
Oh, that's funny.
I get too much American every week with you on the show.
I know, right? Well,
yep.
You get 2 weeks off.
Yay!
So another bit of at home. I thought this one was interesting too. So this is another bit of at home. I haven't tried this out yet. Obviously, I've been working on my thermal oven. It's kind of sitting dormant in pieces, but
all right.
Someone posted. I think it was in the show notes 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was.
Hacking a vinyl cutter actually to cut out solder paste stencils. Oh, it was actually Jeremy. It was actually a guy that's in Cleveland. He was the one who posted it. But yeah, it's a similar kind of script where you basically will take your Gerbers and then turn it in. Have you seen those 2D vinyl cutters before? You ever seen those?
Yeah. They're cool. You can buy them. You can buy little commercial ones.
Yeah,
they're actually quite
right. Yeah, they're like a lot of like crafting and like stuff like that.
Yeah, crafting.
And Jeremy,
I think they're pretty cheap too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like $100.
I think they're not. Right, I should just get one for the
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a cool little thing. So it was a couple weeks ago.
Damn it! Now you've got me on eBay, and I'm going to bloody go out
of course
order
you're
that.
buy
As if I need more junk here.
Yeah,
in the land.
right.
Yeah, right. Here we go, eBay. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what is it, like a vinyl cutter or a craft cutter or something?
Yeah, it was like $100. So what's it called? It's called the Silhouette Portrait or Cameo. Basically, it looks very similar to like an old, or not even old one. It's just an inkjet cutter with like just the single axis where the carriage moves across, and then instead of ink coming out, it just has a cutting head. And so, Jeremy said you can do 0603 and SC74-6, which I think is
right.
What's that?
Oh, hang on.
SAT 23.
There's a huge like stand-up flatbed, like a huge flatbed like roller plotter, like a meter wide one. Second hand, and it's dirt cheap.
Oh yeah, those are actually good for.
Space. Sorry.
Yeah, those are good for like harvesting the drives in those. You can.
Oh yeah, they're very cool.
The old pen plotters and stuff like that.
Yep.
See what you can do.
Jeez, there's lots of them. I tell you what.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of them.
These are
secondhand and new.
This is how projects are born. This is the worst. This is the worst thing because it'll. But yeah, it was pretty cool though, and so you can actually do not like super fine pitch stuff, but do some smaller. I actually saw when I was watching some of those machining videos as well. I saw a guy he just cut out like real thin stainless, and he just milled out his own solder paste stencils as well. So
right,
yeah, I mean you can do a lot of stuff. It's great.
Very cool.
Pretty cheap stuff. So like I said, I haven't my machining was on hold because of the lack of milling bits. So I am always on the lookout for cheap ones, for especially for this kind of stuff, for like carving. But yep. Actually, cool. there was a Kickstarter, not a Kickstarter. Was it Kickstarter? Instructables. Not Instructables, sorry, Inventables. I always get those confused. Inventables.
God, what's the difference?
I know, right? Inventables is actually out of Chicago. They just started a new campaign called for Carvey, and that's another one there. It's a Kickstarter going right now, so it's 15 days left. Similar kind of thing. It's just for mostly 2D machining. It can do a little bit of Z-axis stuff. They're also the ones who do the Shapeoko, so people have probably heard of that one before.
All right.
Which was basically like just an XY gantry where you just kind of strapped in a routing bit. But this one's actually a little bit more finished and stuff like that. It looks like you can get it for like $2,000, maybe a little bit more. But the cool thing about them is they have a new web-based what's it called? CAM.
You're telling the story.
I know. Sorry, I might brain fart there, because there's CAD, right? CAD is computer assisted design, and CAM is computer assisted machining, which is similar to these scripts where it's basically you need to tell something needs to tell the stepper motors which direction, how many pulses in one direction or the another to go, right? And actually doing that is this terrible process. And there's a lot of software out there. There's a lot of it's computer, it's Windows based stuff like that. I have a couple that I use, and so they actually moved to the browser, which is pretty interesting because it's all server side processing and stuff like that. So I haven't tried it out yet, but it looks pretty interesting for pretty simple looking machining type stuff. So yep, I might have re-caught the winter virus that is machining. So,
oh boy,
looks like a fun project.
Speaking of reflow ovens, there's yet another Kickstarter project for a reflow oven controller. Didn't we? We talked about one a couple of weeks back, and there's another one.
Yep. Well, and I mean they're
dime a dozen.
They're not terribly.
They're the new 3D printers of.
I wouldn't say that. They're more like Arduino shields, basically. I mean, like what are they? They're basically a micro. Thermocouple
They're a
input.
micro with a thermocouple and an LCD and a couple of buttons.
Right, and then you just need digital output because you're just driving. Usually, you're just driving.
There's
relays or something like that.
One single digital output that just turns the heater off and on. That's it.
Yeah. And then the rest is just software. So it's good though. That means that the cost will come down on those and make it easier for people to do it. This one that was on here though, which one? I can't find it now. Sorry. Oven. Yeah, I think this is the one where these guys actually have a really good tutorial on building your own as well.
Right.
So if you go to the comment section on the subreddit, I posted the link there as well. So basically, if you want to just build your own from scratch, even just like how to disassemble these ovens, and like they actually use the exact same one that I have, so I'm going to be using this and actually insulating it and trying to. Because they create hot spots with these really crappy heating elements. So yeah, it's all about look at this. We can just build up get a vinyl cutter, get a toaster oven, get a milling machine, and you still really can't do 2-layer boards.
Yeah, exactly. Let alone chips.
Yeah, right. Well, come on, man. That was a bit of a dig.
Of course it was. People expect it. Yeah, that's actually a comprehensive tutorial they've got there on how to modify ovens and stuff.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
That's very impressive. Jeez, I like that.
It's really nice. And actually that was part of their Kickstarter actually has like more of a kit style. So if you want to just kind of follow the directions and get all the stuff, they'll send you everything. So that's another thing with the reflow. So it's nice.
What's all this gold reflective stuff they've put inside the oven?
Yeah, so that's like thermal tape to kind of try and get it more uniform. So basically, instead of like like just a straight aluminum inside, something that'll actually try and reflect some of the heat back in. So,
Wonder how effective that is. It'd be interesting to see the results on that.
Oh, yeah, to do like a side-by-side kind of thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still...
Reflector gold tape.
Yeah. I need to still build one before I
right.
yeah, I can evaluate the effectiveness of tape.
I might do that. I might get a roll of reflector gold and then do a before and after thermal profile of my oven. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, see how it changes.
That'd be interesting.
Have you? And you said you haven't used that lately.
Oh well, no.
Yeah.
Haven't designed much.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Did you see Mike's thermal camera teardown?
Oh yes, the what's it called?
The Seek thermal. I happen to have one in my hand as well. I got one for my camera as well, or my phone as well.
Cool. Wasn't that exciting because it's like it's just a little plug-in for
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. Like this is all about accessibility, right? I mean, like I think about the first thermal camera I used was at work, and it was like $4,000, right? And now it's like $200. It's still not cheap, but it's that's pretty awesome to have, especially if you're doing something like a reflow oven or something like that. And you're trying to find a place where you need to put more tape, right? I don't know.
Right.
So it was interesting to see like how little stuff was in there too. I mean, like just.
It has the sensor and a micro and USB interface, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, geez,
I'm also
doesn't need much. All the magic's in the sensor.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. It's like a material scientist game now. Well, and plus these micros exactly.
are.
I mean, they're everywhere, right? Like that was what an STM32 in there. I mean, like those are just
like that. Yeah.
Crazy powerful for how cheap they are. So, it's awesome. The thing I didn't realize though is that the phones have started doing this USB on the go stuff. Because I mean, like when you think about it, there really wasn't many like, and I don't know how high bandwidth it was, or it is rather, but for a while there was no real way to get signals out other than like a Bluetooth connection. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't get signals back out. So I wonder if that's going to end up doing the same kind of thing of like opening phones back up to doing even more stuff, right? Like a lot of the products that are out there right now are Bluetooth, I think, because that did abstract that interface out, but that's still necessarily limited by power and bandwidth.
The USB on the go really didn't take off that hugely, did it?
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of plug-in accessories and stuff like that.
What, you mean for phones or just in general?
Yeah, no, for phones.
Well, that's the thing. It hasn't. It was only been in recent phones. That's what I'm saying. Is that like?
Oh, I thought it'd been around for a reasonable amount of time.
Well, no, it has been. The protocol has been around for a while. But that's what I'm saying is like if you plug this into an older Android phone, it won't work because it can't do that reversal of the because then it has to basically flip the transmit lines, the data and transmit and receive, right? And it has to actually do that and determine who's master, who's slave, that kind of stuff. And then it also has to supply power. So that was.
I don't even know if my Nexus 4 has USB on the go.
Well, the only reason I know
because I don't have anything that needs to plug in. Yeah,
my Moto X
is
the only reason I know is because it works.
It works, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike had to buy a different phone, didn't he, or something?
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I mean, I think that could be really cool because, well, as we've talked about in the past, I think that phones and tablets being as like the the slotted in kind of actually being able to use them as a replaceable or like a headless display type of unit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That's really necessary. It wasn't possible before because display data is really, really heavy in terms of data wise, and now if there's a way to do it,
see, it'd be perfect for something like a thermal oven, like this, right? Just have a USB cable coming out of your thermal oven. You plug your phone into it, boom. There's the display. It can show the profile graph. And everything else.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that's interesting too is that looking at where there's a lot of like available talent, right? Like if you can start to write firmware to basically get the sensor data out to a web type interface, you start to open up, you think about all the people that are interested in hardware, but might be, web software people, right? Basically, there's so much talent there. If you're thinking about where these talent pools are, there are firmware people, there are, embedded, basically like low level C, but also even higher level C, like C++ type stuff. It feels like that kind of stuff is starting to go away a little bit more, right? Seeing this like on the KiCad project, right? So I finally started subscribing to the developer list and stuff like that. And It's like that stuff's it's still graphically based, but it's OS level. It's actually writing applications where there's so much talent and so much availability of talent around like web stuff now that it starts to shift that way, and it's like,
Right.
So you start to limit the user base. So now if you have like a product that can get all of this data, you write good firmware, you get all this data into like a web context, and then you get people that can write interfaces around it and continually update it. That's I think projects that are going to do really well. So
I think so. Don't disagree at all.
There's a first.
It is.
So, what do you think of this hoverboard?
It is, well, it does.
It works.
Hover, right?
Yeah.
It works.
It's loud, man.
There's I tweeted a link to a video of no less than Buzz Aldrin riding the thing.
Yep.
And what the hell is it with the helmet? Come on. Right? We're talking about a freaking, a fighter test pilot. Right? Who's
in his
landed,
80s.
The first man who lands on the moon, and he's got to wear a freaking helmet to stand on a hoverboard.
That is not there for Buzz. That's there for the company that's paying Buzz.
If I was Buzz, I would have turned up and I said, I'm freaking Buzz Aldrin. I'm not wearing that stupid helmet. Piss off.
Maybe.
And they would have went, okay, Buzz.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know, man.
It's just, anyway. Yeah, apparently it's as loud as a bloody vacuum cleaner.
Well, it's using it's using like eddy currents, right? I mean, isn't that basically how it's...
Yeah.
It's levitating.
Plus, there's some air cushioning as well, I think, happening.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's where the noise comes from, and that helps cool it as well, or something like that. I believe. So yeah. So it's a combination of those two. So it only works on a metal surface, of course. So
it is very neat. It's not
it's
super
neat.
practical yet, but
No. Yep.
It works. Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised somebody hasn't done this a long time ago. I mean, there's nothing rocket science about it.
Yeah.
If you get enough current through that damn thing, it's gonna, it's gonna lift up.
Yep.
It's gonna levitate. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Buzz and rockets, or space and rockets, did you watch that thing?
That was hard to watch.
It was painful, and yet I was simultaneously just like that much explosion. It was, it's somewhat exciting, right? I mean, it's just big explosion.
Right. No, from right.
Just the inner
then
pyro.
When you realize it sets back the commercial space.
And it was two of them too. That's what was crazy. I mean, it was the Antares rocket, and then also the Spaceship 2 from Virgin.
Yep.
So, it was crazy.
Yeah, and that's man. Which reminds me, the judging for the final round judging.
Mm-hmm. You got to do that
for the Hackaday prize. Yeah, I've got to do it like by tomorrow, don't I, or by today, or something.
Yeah, by tomorrow.
Or you're gonna kick my ass, right?
I will send you a nasty email, sir.
Oh, as if I don't get nasty emails.
Yeah, right. I will send you a normal email.
A polite one, and I'll have no choice but to go, oh, geez, he was so polite, I must do it
Those
now.
Midwesterners and their down-home family values. Yeah.
Goodness. Anyway, what chance have they got getting to space now? If I'd be starting to take the cash prize.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Cash equivalent. Yeah. Because that's what they were going to go on, right? They were going to go on Virgin Galactic, right?
Yeah,
or somebody else.
There's still time. I mean, it's basically, well, it's It's up to the contestant.
Is there any time limit on when you have to take it?
It's 2017 in the thing.
2017.
So.
Oh well, they're not going to. It's almost 2015. They're not going to get back on track by 2017.
You never know, but yeah, we'll see.
It's set them back at least a couple of years, right?
You just mean because of the build of the actual the ship, or you mean because of the safety precautions and
no, the safety? They have to re-engineer the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sure. After the Apollo 1 fire, how long did it take them to get Apollo 8 up and the first manned crew? Offhand, might have been a year or two, but still, I mean, that was with the entire resources of the whole world and the fear of the Cold War and the Ruskies beating them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it still took a couple of years to re-engineer, the Apollo after the Apollo 1 fire.
I don't know, man.
Get back on track. This is a similar sort of thing, right? They have to go back and what failed? We've got to re-engineer, find out what failed. That might be hard enough, and then re-engineer the whole thing so it doesn't happen. So,
yeah.
Space Shuttle and the O-Ring, was it a couple of years? Space Shuttle and the O-Ring? Like, to think they're going to do it any quicker than a couple of years is, I think, foolish.
Maybe.
Anyway.
I think personally, I probably would have taken the money. I probably shouldn't have said that.
That's basically what I'm saying. Take the money. If you win the Hackaday prize, take the money.
Right.
Because otherwise, you could be left holding an empty bag, right? If there is no trip to space within that.
No, that would never.
Right?
No, that wouldn't happen.
Why not?
Because at the end, you just take the money,
Right.
Anyways, the thing I wanted to mention about the Antares is that Sean, who was on the show when it was just me and Sean, you weren't on that show.
Yep.
But he talked about the flock of the Planet Labs flocks, right? So those are or they call them doves. Doves are like the name of the satellites, and Flock 1D, 26 of them were on that rocket.
Oh no!
Yeah. So, and like that's the thing, like like I said, I my inner pyro was excited, and especially because I knew there was no one on board, right? That's the absolute most important thing. But then you think about that too, right? And it's because it's not just Planet Labs. There's other commercial, there's just a lot of money involved there. That's what is crazy about it, right? There's just tons of money involved in that kind of space stuff. And
they were all insured, right? I mean, these Dove satellites would have been insured, right?
Maybe, I don't know. How do you start that conversation? Or did they take the chances?
Oh, we've got no money left for insurance. Let's just cross our fingers and hope she goes up.
No, they're well funded, but it's I don't know. We might have to email Sean and ask him. I don't know if he'll be able to answer that, but. How do you do that? It's like, I got the umbrella policy.
You pay a huge premium. Most of these satellites they put up, they are insured.
Really?
And it costs them it'll cost them like $50 million for insurance.
No.
Because because the risk is high. Oh yeah.
50. No.
These come. Well, I'm not sure of the exact number, but how?
I mean, I'm sure a lot, right? A lot of money, but not 50 million. Yeah.
No, I don't know, but it's It's, how much I'm going to Google. How much does it cost to insure a satellite launch?
Insure a satellite. Yeah. How much does it cost when you strap your livelihood to the top of explosive?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that really sucks. So because even like Sean was telling us on the show, right? So
there's a wiki page, satellite insurance. Here it is.
Okay.
Which is about 20 insurers worldwide participate. Sorry, this will be our last thing for the show.
Our last reading of Wikipedia for the day. After this, folks, you have to go and read your own damn Wikipedia articles.
Come on, I want a figure. I want a typical figure. Come on, you bastards. Oh, I don't see a figure.
Well, what I was saying is that
anyway,
the redeeming thing is that Sean talked about. They do quick turn. He said that they have to sit on the launch pad for a while, but they do pretty quick turns on their satellites. So even if they could probably go and manufacture the same round of hardware, they probably even won't. They probably just move on to the next one because they kind of have that process going.
Got it.
So yeah, that really sucks. So I'm sorry to hear that. But like I said, glad that no one got hurt. I'm very sad to hear about the...
Damn you, Wikipedia. I'm now surfing and reading a paper estimating satellite insurance liabilities.
There's like people that do that.
There's people that do that. This is the...
That's like the master class
Society of Actuaries. You know,
right.
The ones who do this, right? They're a bunch of funsters, right? They get together and they write papers on how to, calculate satellite insurance, right? Yeah. And space debris and salvage potential. And, it's all here. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's only 38 pages long. That's not too bad.
Mm.
And there's graphs and stuff. Ooh, I like graphs. I'm a big fan of graphs.
Yes.
Anyway, there goes my day.
Yep. Jeez, Dave,
I'd be much more
electronics.
I'd be much more productive without Wikipedia.
That's right.
It's a sickness.
What is this? You'd posted a thing a while back, like an ebook about certifications or something like that for makers.
Oh, right. Yes. I think we've got some to give away. Yes, there's a ebook about how hackers, hardware engineers can get their products certified.
Oh, okay, so this is like
electromagnetic conformity, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay, it says FCC, CE, stuff like that.
Yep, all that sort of stuff. Is it in the list? Is it in the Reddit list here?
It's in there. Yep.
If it's we'll have to anyway. I think we've got 5 free ebooks to give away. I think he's given us a code to give away 5 free ebooks. Anyway, you can go and buy the ebook if you don't. How can we give those away?
How about the first 5 people to tweet this episode link with the hashtag ebook? Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll send you a promo code to get a free ebook. Yep.
Very cool.
I've got the email somewhere. I'm sure he sent us a code. Anyway, we'll do that.
Neat. Yeah, that's good too, because that, man, so when Eric was on the show,
and you've got to tweet the amp hour. Do you have to tweet the amp hour?
Oh, that would help so I could find it, yeah. So include the amp hour, link to the show, and the hashtag ebook.
Right.
Yep. You have to touch your nose,
to link our show.
Pat your head, stand on one leg, shout how much you love the amp hour. Yeah, while wearing the amp hour t-shirt, which should be here Monday.
Dear.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
did we get another
stuff,
round of t-shirts? Did we get another round?
Yes.
You were going to list it again.
I did list it. It did get out. I don't think...
Is this the sand-coloured one?
No, this is black. So we'll do sand again in the future.
Yep. Because they do auto-relist. Well, no, you can... what you can do is that you can go to the link, even if you've missed the campaign, you can put your name down, sign up, and if 15 people sign up, then they automatically print the shirts again. So we don't have to actually run the campaign again. It's an auto thing that happens.
It'll open
so it's
back
kind
up.
of groovy.
So,
yep.
Yeah, I got a sweatshirt. I'm pumped about that.
And they're very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's freezing here.
Right. It's summertime. Well, no, it's not summertime here, but it's, getting close.
See, that's when I need to come visit, is when, like the depths of...
Right, the depths of winter, and it's beautiful over here.
February.
But even the depths of winter here is beautiful, so...
Yeah, rub it in. Rub it in, buddy.
Yep. All right, we're way over time.
We are. So if anyone's in Germany, please be sure to look me up and go to the Hackaday party. That'll be fun. And
sweet. Have fun.
Enjoy Dave playing Waltzing Matilda for you for the next 2 weeks.
Cool. All right.
Talk to you then.
Catch you next time.
Well, it's happened again. You've wasted another hour listening to the Amp Hour. Our public opinion pollster is Paul Murky of Murky Research, assisted by statistician Mara Genevera. Our customer care representative is Haywood Jabuzoff. Our personal makeup artist is Bud Tugley. Dave's personal anger management coach is Kirsten Hollard. Our personal hygiene advisor from the Tokyo office is O Takashawa. Complaint line operator is Levon Hold. Our podcast reviewer is Kent Stan Denoise. Director of Three Stooges Studies is Lee Iappoca. The portion of the show today on the South Pole Birds was done by staff ornithologist Marcia de Penguins. Normal amp hour theme music done by Paul I Don't Play Banjo Stevenson. And though we're working on hiring away the chief counsel of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, the incomparable Hugh Lewis Dewey, he'll actually be defending Tom in the afterlife for causing so many near crashes due to making us all laugh so hard while listening along in the car.